So the Honda exhaust rocker arm part came in, so I figured, well, time to replace it. But first, I wanted to take a look and see what the valve guides look like and the valve stem looked like. So I'm like, vertical engine, it's gravity. Well, long story short, I kind of didn't think about that, so when I took off the spring, valve spring cap, I forget what they call that, but that part there, well, of course, the valve stem just kind of, fell. I'm like, oh, great. So do I have to take this all apart? And this design, the heads don't come off. And so I'm like, oh, great. So I'm thinking, I don't have a magnet, telescopic magnet that's a small diameter for the valve guide. So I figured I better make one. So I went in there and I went inside and I'm like, what do I have for magnets? I have neodymium magnets. I have some big ones. I don't have any small ones. So I have a chisel, a ball peen hammer. I'm like, oh wait, I probably have smaller, thinner ones that are magnetic hard drive magnets. So I basically chiseled some small ones to make some, chiseled the larger one into some smaller ones and then stacked them. And then I did did I just do this yesterday? I think I did it yesterday to fill in the gaps with the Dyson V7 where the Cyclone's plastic's cracked and missing. Basically, this time I just put super glue on and I sprinkled on baking soda and then just layered that up a little bit to build it up around the little that's kind of what do you call it? Kind of machined in rim, really a detent, but perimeter. It's the end of the hex key. That's I figured to give it a little more grip on top of the magnets, and then the glue and the baking soda around the perimeter would smooth out the perimeter a little more, and also maybe have a little bit of insulation. So mainly, I took that dental. What are they, a jaquette? I forgot the term, a scraper, and scraped the bottom, so the bottom was exposed magnet. And then I just fed that in fairly quickly. I was able to move around and pull her out. So anyways, this is going to stay that tool for this and maybe similar incidents where I kind of deviated from, I've never done this before with this Honda GC design engine, so it's a first, and I'm not really thinking. But I was kind of wondering with valve guides if it's worth putting a little anti-seize on there or not, but it seems pretty smooth now, and I guess my instinct would be if the head would remove, I'd remove the head and I'd lap that valve seat, clean it all up and reassemble. But this is a newer design, and you talk to some of the guys, when I called around, they just would not bother with, and encouraged to get a GX engine, not the GC. But I said, well, I decided I'll just order the part and swap it. And like I was saying, I wasn't sure if this is a cadmium coating, so I didn't really want to weld or repair the other one, bend it back into shape. So for about $8, $8.50, I just ordered and just received today. So anyways, I'll go ahead and I think we're just going to stop. I can pause, but I'll just go ahead and stop. So anyways, and maybe edit together.